All right, let's do it. A quick one. Zest for Life, aka Fresh Mark Sense. I'm going to be reviewing a duplicate of a Harrods fragrance. Now, when we say Harrods fragrance, we're talking about very niche fragrances. The Harrods fragrance in question is you can't just buy a Harrods. There's other places too. Angel by Killian. So Killian Angel is a very popular fragrance. It's sort of like a chocolatey, honeycomb. It's a boozy fragrance, but I think what really comes out from it when I smelled it in the actual shop, when I tested it out, was sort of apple pie and boozy vibes. So it had an alcoholic cognac sort of brandy feel. It's a sweet, alcoholic, rich, vanillic, woody, slightly woody, but mainly vanilla, cream, cinnamon, and this sort of apple pie, which is created by the booze note. So let's go straight into it. What is the clone's name? It is, well, I thought it was going to be a Latafa fragrance, but it's actually Maison Alhambra. So it's like, so they make a Kismet Magic. So I can't actually remember what Kismet means in Urdu, but I think it's like fate or something. So fate and then magic. So fate and magic. Well, it's got a similar bottle, so you could see that it's of the same duplicate fragrance line. It's trying to be Killian by Angel. Um, I quite like the bottle in terms of practicality and durability, and it's nice. But what about the fragrance? When I first spray this, am I going to get that cinnamon, apple, and booze note? You don't actually have to overspray. It's quite a beast mode fragrance, which is like these Arab fragrances with the which lasts a long time. So I'm getting apple. I'm getting cinnamon. Um, I'm getting a very powdery, creamy vanilla. Is it dark? Is it ambery? I wouldn't say it's ambery, but it's very syrupy. So it's very syrupy, cloyingly sweet, I'd say, bordering on cloyingly sweet. It gets quite offensive in the beginning in terms of the sweetness. It's really out there. But if you were to spray this on your clothes, it's nice. After the dry down of this, so this is what I get on the first note. The apple, cinnamon. I don't really get the boozy note. I don't really get the alcoholic vibe as a strong liqueur note. It's not a sophisticated liqueur note, but I think the cyan benzoin mixed with the vanilla has created a sort of toffee note. So they have achieved the toffee note that gives a slightly boozy effect, but I think the boozy effect should actually come from the cognac scent, which is supposed to be richer and a little bit more spiced rather than just cinnamon. So I'm getting the apple and cinnamon vibe definitely. From far away, I think you definitely think that this is Killian Angel, but when you get closer, the complexity isn't really there, and it goes into a more chocolatey direction than booze and apple pie. So it starts apple pie, and then when the chocolate comes into it, it really takes over the fragrance as a woody chocolate fragrance. And one thing that came to mind was the new Angel Phantasm. So I was actually going to get Angel Phantasm, and I was thinking patchouli. There's a bright patchouli, sparkling patchouli, woody, and chocolate, like a chocolate flake. It has a thick chocolate layer in the beginning. Some people describe it as chocolate ganache cake, like the really thick bit, and then you get the powdery chocolate later in the second final stage. This opens up like cinnamon, and then it goes into a chocolate stage, like the beginning of Angel Phantasm, in the mid of this, and that lasts all the way until the powdery end, which is so you get apple pie, then you get angel phantasm chocolate and um, the chocolate and bergamot mix, which is sort of a bright woody chocolate. Um, sorry, I don't like to say because I'm sort of I'm trying to simplify this into something you can understand. So definitely we have the apple pie, but it's not as boozy as you'd like. It's not. It's just the dark vanilla. If any booze comes from it, it's just the darkness of the vanilla and maybe some apple that is. It's not a liqueur note. It's not apple liqueur note. So you haven't got any booze notes. It goes into an angel phantasm woody chocolate. The dusty chocolate part is. I've been told that it smells like sandalwood and vanilla, but it's such a melange at the end. They don't really know whether it's sandalwood or the person I asked. Excuse me. Sorry. The person that I asked didn't really know if it was sandalwood or vanilla, and I didn't know either because it's a very not really. It's a very airy perfume at the end. I think Angel is that too. It's a very powdery vanilla, um, creamy, like an ice cream cone at the end. Whereas this has a vanilla fuzz, which isn't ambery. It's kind of vanilla chocolate fuzz at the end. It doesn't really have a structure at the end, it just dissipates. And I think for £20, that's okay. But and to have the structure of Angel by Killian, that sort of apple cinnamon, that's okay too. But don't expect any boozy notes. In fact, if I was to make it more boozy, I'd add another note, but this would take it into a more woody direction because I believe this has cypress in it. Or yeah, this would be perfect to add a booze note too because it's quite boozy. Pacha de Cartier Parfum is very nice actually for the boozy note. I just yeah, that's quite woody, and that would make it smell. So you can wear this and layer it together, and it would be quite nice. Oh, chocolate, woody, and boozy. So these scents by Alhambra, Maison Alhambra. Well, they're just a copy of Maison Margiela, this thing. And the perfume is, it has the beginning notes of the perfume, but it doesn't fully construct it. The same like the Mango Kiss dupe. It's not as complex, but it has the opening shade. One thing I'll give this, it is it is better blended than other duplicate fragrances because it has that sort of it is good. It actually smells okay on the skin, not just on the clothes, which is a fault of a lot of Arab perfumes, budget Arab perfumes, the Latafa and the like. That this actually smells okay on the skin rather than just on clothes. So it's okay for £20, and I think it's good if you want a cheap version of Angel Phantasm. However, Angel Phantasm is blended well in that it has clear stages. This is a melange, whereas the original Angel was a melange of lots of different notes anyway, so that's okay. It's sort of like this is Angel Phantasm, a budget version with the top notes of an apple pie. So Angel Phantasm is like chocolate cake with coconut shreds on top, and this is like apple pie with Angel Phantasm in the middle without the coconut. Instead, substitute that with some apple and just woody vanilla and chocolate. So check it out if you want a budget set. I got this for £20 on the dot. Oh, it's a 19.99 actually. If you want to be on the dot, and it's quite nice actually in terms of lasting power. I could tell I sprayed a few in the air just to get it going and to have an idea of what it smells like when it's macerated after a while. So I did spray a few before I got here just to get the real scent out. And I could tell that this is going to last a long time. Still, it's nice on clothes, but the complexity, it doesn't get more complex on the skin. It just stays there. It doesn't get worse on the skin, which is great because it's not like some aroma chemical nightmare or something. It's safe to put on skin. It's not going to burn you because I tried it. Well, I don't know. Maybe your skin is more sensitive, but I've tried quite a few perfumes, and my skin is quite sensitive, and it was okay for me. I flare up with rosemary sometimes. Anyway, so check it out if you want a budget scent, but don't expect everything from Angel. But I wouldn't really invest in Angel myself. I would be happy mixing this with Pacha de Cartier or another chocolatey scent if I wanted to add something to it, like Choco Violette. You can do what you want with these budget fragrances. Just know what you're doing. That means if you're mixing apple and cinnamon, mix it with an apple fragrance if you want to bring the apple out. If you want to do, but if it's got chocolate in it, know that if you're adding apple, you're doing more apple and more chocolate. Complement the chocolate, mix and match, have fun with it. But the main thing is that you're staying fresh with something that's £20 rather than going broke over this. So if you want to go for Angel, I would heavily suggest you get Kismet Magic just to try it out and see how you'd actually wear this perfume. And if you finish a bottle of Kismet Magic, then buy Angel. But I don't think you need to buy it when Kismet Magic is £20. Fantastic if you think about it. That you can have a long-lasting perfume that has the opening notes of a Harrods perfume. It doesn't open exactly the same, but it's still warm and welcoming, and that's what you want from a perfume. And I think it's a good surprise at 20. Um, I just wish it was more boozy, let's say. I wish it was more boozy. I wish it had less cinnamon because cinnamon is a cinnamon bomb. I mean, you don't need that much cinnamon. It's just defensive throwing that much cinnamon in someone's face. It's just weird. Um, so, less cinnamon, more boozy. Uh, Deeper woods. It has some nice woods, but it was not really fully made. And the end of the fragrance, it should be more defined rather than dissipating into a melange of sandalwood and cheap vanilla. But it is what it is. I do like the slightly syrupy nature. It gives it a little bit more depth than than other Arab perfumes. And check it out for yourself if you want to, and let me know what you think in the comment section. Whatever you do, people, stay free and stay fresh. Pow. Another one.